wanted a normal life. Everyone I've ever cared about. Maybe that's a good thing. But when everyone and it's time for a fresh start, leave it behind. These streets, you never want. Look around you, Spider Man. They don't need you.
Spider Man has always been one of the most beloved superheroes in the world, a character who resonates across generations because he represents the idea of an ordinary person rising to extraordinary challenges. Unlike many other superheroes who are born with powers or come from distant planets, Spider Man is a regular teenager who suddenly finds himself blessed and burdened with abilities that change his life forever. At the core of the Spider Man story is Peter Parker, a young man from Queens who struggles with the responsibilities of school, family, relationships, and the crushing weight of having to save the world in secret. That human relatability is what has made Spider Man such a timeless and iconic figure. Over the years, audiences have seen many versions of Spider Man brought to life, from comic books to cartoons to blockbuster films that dominate theaters. Each version reimagines the character in new ways while keeping the central heart of the story intact. An ordinary young man who learns that with great power, there must also come great responsibility. The new Spider Man movie is one of the most highly anticipated superhero films, and for good reason. It is set to expand on everything fans love while diving deeper into the emotional core of Peter Parker's story. The film is designed to give audiences not just big action sequences and epic battles, but also the quiet, heartfelt moments that make Spider-Man more than just another superhero. The story focuses on Peter Parker trying to balance his life as a college student while still carrying the weight of being New York's protector. He is torn between the simple life he desperately craves and the hero's journey he cannot escape. The movie's opening sequences show Peter's attempt to live normally, working a part-time job, studying, and spending time with his friends, but it becomes clear that trouble always seems to find him. When new threats rise in the city, Peter realizes once again that his responsibility as Spider-Man will never truly leave him. The plot takes a darker, more mature turn as Peter faces not one but multiple villains who challenge him physically, mentally, and emotionally. The central antagonist is a new take on a familiar enemy, someone who knows Peter not just as Spider-Man, but as a person. This makes the conflict more personal than ever before. The villain sees through Peter's vulnerabilities, striking at his heart and forcing him to question his own choices. At the same time, a secondary villain adds to the chaos, creating a layered story where Peter cannot simply rely on his powers, but must rely on his intelligence, his relationships, and his moral compass. The film makes it clear that being Spider-Man is not about swinging through the city in a flashy costume. It is about sacrifice. The cast is one of the film's strongest elements. The role of Peter Parker continues to be portrayed with depth and authenticity by an actor who captures both the awkwardness of a young man still finding his place in the world and the bravery of a hero who faces insurmountable odds. His performance is full of humor, heart, and pain, reminding audiences why Spider-Man feels like someone they could know in real life. Alongside him is a talented ensemble of supporting characters. The love interest plays a crucial role in grounding Peter, offering him moments of normalcy amidst the chaos. Friends return to provide both comic relief and emotional support, while family remains the anchor that constantly reminds Peter why he fights. The villains are played by powerhouse performers who bring menace and complexity to their roles, ensuring that they are not just one-dimensional threats, but characters with motives and depth. What makes this film special is how it merges the small-scale, intimate struggles of Peter Parker with the larger-than-life stakes of a superhero epic. The action sequences are breathtaking, featuring some of the most visually stunning web-swinging sequences ever put on screen. Each fight scene is carefully choreographed to showcase Spider-Man's agility, creativity, and quick thinking. Whether he is battling in the narrow streets of Queens, clashing high above the city skyline, or taking on villains in abandoned warehouses, the movie ensures that every action moment feels fresh and exhilarating. But as dazzling as the action is, it never overshadows the emotional beats of the story. The filmmakers make sure to slow down at the right moments, giving Peter space to reflect on his choices, to talk with those he loves, and to wrestle with the question of who he really wants to be. The release date for this new Spider Man film is one that fans have circled on their calendars. It is positioned as one of the biggest tentpole releases of the year, a movie that will not only draw in comic book fans, but also general audiences who have grown attached to Spider-Man's journey. The studio has been carefully building anticipation, dropping small teases and promotional material to ignite fan theories and speculation. The timing of its release ensures that it will dominate conversations, social media feeds, and fan discussions for weeks, if not months. The excitement surrounding the movie proves that Spider-Man is more than just a character. He is a cultural phenomenon that continues to evolve with each new generation. The trailer for the film has already given audiences a taste of what to expect, and it has been nothing short of electrifying. It opens with Peter Parker narrating his struggle to live a normal life, with shots of him in class, on the streets, and quietly looking out over the city he has sworn to protect. But the tone quickly shifts as ominous music builds, revealing glimpses of the new villains and the dangers they bring. Explosions, intense fight scenes, and breathtaking web-slinging shots are intercut with quieter moments of Peter talking to his loved ones, showcasing the duality of his life. The trailer perfectly balances spectacle and emotion, leaving fans desperate to see how the story will unfold. It teases major twists without giving too much away, creating an air of mystery that has only heightened anticipation. What truly sets this Spider-Man film apart is its exploration of identity. The movie asks hard questions about who Peter Parker is when the mask comes off. It shows the loneliness of being a hero, the sacrifices that come with power, and the constant danger of having a secret life. Peter grapples with whether he can ever truly be happy as himself, or if he is forever destined to live in the shadow of Spider-Man. These themes make the story resonate with audiences on a deeper level, because they reflect real human struggles about identity, responsibility, and sacrifice. Even though the setting involves supervillains and incredible powers, at its heart, it is about a young man trying to do the right thing in a world that constantly tests him. Fans of Spider-Man will find countless nods and references throughout the film. Subtle details pay homage to past versions of the character, both in film and comics, while still pushing the story forward in bold new directions. The costume design has also evolved, blending the classic red and blue look with modern upgrades that reflect Peter's growth as both a hero and an inventor. The music score enhances the emotional highs and lows, shifting seamlessly between heart-pounding action beats and soft, reflective melodies. Every element of the movie has been crafted with care to honor Spider-Man's legacy while creating something fresh and unforgettable. By the time the credits roll, audiences will not only be thrilled by the spectacle, but also moved by the journey. This Spider-Man film is more than just another installment in a superhero franchise. It is a story about what it means to grow up, to carry burdens, to lose, and to find strength in the face of adversity. It is about friendship, love, and the unshakable belief that one person can make a difference, even when the odds are stacked against them. It reminds viewers why Spider-Man has endured for so long, why he continues to inspire, and why his story is as relevant today as it was when he first swung onto the page decades ago. This is the kind of film that will be remembered, discussed, and cherished for years to come. It represents not just the growth of a character, but the evolution of an entire legacy. Fans will leave the theater talking about the action, the surprises, and the twists, but also about the emotions it stirred within them. For some, it will feel like a nostalgic return to the Spider-Man they grew up with. For others, it will be an introduction to a new chapter in the hero's story. But for everyone, it will be a reminder that even in the most difficult times, even when the world feels overwhelming, there is always hope. And sometimes, that hope swings through the skies of New York in red and blue.